Which board do I want? That's right. I'm going to build a wooden RC car, and I'm going to race it, and maybe win with it. Probably not, but I'm going to try. This is my TLR 5.0 Elite buggy, the first one I started racing with. Doesn't sound like they're going to change it anytime soon. I'll take the first step. I'll make a wooden TLR 5.1 Elite. Maybe that'll get somebody's attention. Probably not, but it's going to be fun. Pretty much stripped down. I'm using the shocks on the Mid-Motor Bandit project. The standoffs, all the electronics are out of it. And it's just sitting there. I'm never going to race this again. So what I'm going to do is use what I need to use off of this chassis. I'll tear this back down. What I have here is some really old wood. I believe this might be wormy chestnut. I took this out of our old farmhouse I remodeled years ago. It was from the 1800s. And I believe this is wormy chestnut. Maybe one of you guys that know your woods can tell me what this is, but it's super heavy, super hardwood. And what better to build an RC buggy out of than vintage hardwood? Nothing but the best for my wooden RC cars. Let me get this thing stripped down, and we're gonna start shaping our new chassis. I wonder if this thing will float. I gotta cut this board down the middle without killing myself. I don't have my table saw here right now, so I'm gonna try this with a circular saw. Oh yeah, nothing can go wrong. Circular saw didn't reach all the way through, so I'm going to have to do this by hand. Hand saw is not cutting it. No pun intended. Okay, got it. Ah, yeah. I think we're off to a good start, boys and girls. See if I remember how to work this thing. Woo! I almost forgot to set the stop. Oh, I went all the way through this chassis. That looks good. I'll come back when I'm done with this. Getting there. This is messy. This better be worth it. All right, let's see if this is working. Starting to resemble an RC chassis, at least that side. Got some more routering to do on this side. Shaping. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna angle this front end without messing it up. Because I've gotten this far, I don't want to screw it up now and have to start over. Do a little trimming here and I'll be able to get this back end on fairly easy. Front end, I gotta make sure I leave enough here to bolt this front brace on. I gotta get this angled right. And I don't want to take any more meat off than I have to, because I'm a lawn dart to jump. I don't want the front end breaking off. Not bad for the first day. I got pretty far. That rear end's all mounted on there. Quick look at the bottom. I got the bevels all done. Probably gonna bevel that a little more. I don't want to take too much meat out of there, but I think it needs a little more. Still got to do the front end, but that is tomorrow. I want to take my time with this front end because I need to get this angle right. I don't want to mess it up and have to start over, because this was a whole day's work. If TLR is looking for an R&D person, I might be their guy. I'm not going to throw that one down. If I mess this up, you better duck. Something's moving. Ooh. There's two. This is what we got so far. It's getting there, it's coming along. It's starting to look like an RC car. But I got a problem. I made these too long. I don't know what I was thinking. I forgot about this is where the servo mount goes, these two holes. This is obviously in the way. So I'm gonna either have to cut these back, or I actually thought about cutting these off, just making this a flat chassis, and then incorporating the stock side supports in. That would make it easier to reuse this, because that locks in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make some way to, I don't know. I gotta scratch my head here for a minute. I'm not crazy, Tuner Boots, I'm bored. He just texted me and said I'm crazy. What's he know? Anyways, back to this wooden RC car. I trimmed these sides back a little bit, made room for the steering servo mounts. What the hell am I doing now? Oh. All right, so what I'm gonna do to mount the front end, I don't wanna mount it up through underneath like it was before, because I don't wanna cut this big triangle out and really weaken that. So I'm gonna mount the front block on top. But since this is chipped right here, I chipped this at some point during the process, I'm gonna make a plastic plate to go on here with the four mounting holes and mount that on there. That'll add a little more support here, and it's gonna space this up a little bit. And to do that, I'm gonna use this. This is the original tray I made out of the top deck on that Mid-Motor Bandit project. This is where one of the posts broke off in that one video. So I'm gonna reuse this. I'm gonna cut the center section out to make, slow down, pal. I'm gonna cut the center section out here to make the plate for underneath there that will bolt on there. Reusing an old Traxxas piece. Everything in my life ends up with the Traxxas part on it. Repurpose and reuse. I'm saving the planet, people. One RC video at a time. I'm not saving any trees, but I am saving the planet. And that's where I'm at after day number 2. It's a pretty fun project so far. I hope it works as good as it looks. If not, it'll look good sitting up there on that shelf. See you in part 2. What do you guys think? Polyurethane, Minwax, linseed oil?